Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. Unfortunately, we were unable to finish our World Cup previews. We got 3 done. We were aiming to do all 32, but unfortunately I was involved in a bit of a car accident, was unable to fulfill my duty in terms of getting those previews out. But the interviews is still your place for World Cup content. We'll be watching every game, we'll be breaking down and covering every single game, and this is the place to be for organic, unfiltered soccer/footy analysis. With the World Cup in mind, we have to look back to 2014. It was such a great World Cup. Germany were the winners. They stopped Messi from fulfilling his legacy and ensuring that he could replicate what Maradona did. In that World Cup, there were so many other great storylines. You have to think about the Robin van Persie header. You think about Luis Suarez biting Giorgio Chiellini. You think about the underdog sides that shocked the world, such as Costa Rica. They were a big shock. We have to look at James Rodriguez's breakout tournament for Colombia. Arjen Robben having another great international tournament. And we look at the teams that disappointed in that tournament. Spain, Italy, England, Portugal didn't make it out of the group stage. Could we see something like that here? It feels like yesterday when Brazil and Croatia kicked off the World Cup, but in just a few hours, we're going to be seeing Russia and Saudi Arabia do the same thing. With this World Cup, you have to think about what are we in store for? What is there to look out for? Who is going to win? Who will disappoint? We have to think first about Messi and Ronaldo, another opportunity for these superstars to cement their legacy as arguably the greatest players of all time. They look to be the greatest of our generation. Some would say they are in that conversation for the greatest players to ever play the game, but winning this World Cup would solidify that. Argentina, Portugal, can they, Messi and Ronaldo, push their team to the promised land? It won't be easy because there are so many obstacles that stand in the way. Argentina have a tough group. One team in that group that could shock the world is Croatia. A lot of people think that they are a dark horse. They have a great midfield, but now it's time to deliver. They've been a dark horse for so long, but if they are going to make some noise, Russia is the place to do it. Then we think about Portugal. They have Spain in their group, and they have a Morocco side that are playing very well. Obviously, they haven't played teams at the caliber of Spain and Portugal, but if there's any time for them to prove their worth, it is here. We have to think about other teams that could surprise us. Perhaps Poland. Can Robert Lewandowski push his side forward? He is the world-class star there. They have a good team, but if he's not scoring, who's going to score? What about Denmark? Christian Eriksen has had a great campaign. Could he push Denmark to something special at this tournament? You think about teams that perhaps no one is really looking at. Perhaps a Saudi Arabia, perhaps a Senegal, perhaps Colombia themselves. Can they replicate what they've done? What about Uruguay? Always seem to perform when it matters, but now they have a side that looks to play some football, the attractive possession-based football that we crave and that we adore. Uruguay has that now. They have a young star in Rodrigo Bentancur who could be the main man going forward, and that would be pivotal for them. We think about other teams that look like perhaps they can make some noise. What about in Australia? Could they make some noise? What about an African side? Nigeria, Senegal, what can they do? This World Cup, we are also missing a lot of big names. Italy, Holland, Chile, the United States of America, Ghana. Teams that are normally at the World Cup will be missing here, but it gives us a chance to look at other teams that could surprise us. And then you look at Morocco, like I've said before, perhaps Iran. What about Iceland? Can they replicate what they did at Euro 2016? They gravitated to everyone as they would look like the ultimate underdog. What will they do at this World Cup? And last but certainly not least, there can only be one winner, but there are so many favorites. Brazil, Germany, France, Spain. You look at those sides, each side has a weakness, but who will really get the job done? To me, Brazil and Germany look like the most balanced sides. We have to look at France. Do they have the leadership and the balance to get over the hump? They couldn't do it on home soil. Russia is a chance at retribution. We look at Spain, just lost their manager a few hours ago. Can they recover from that and win their opening game against Portugal and start their tournament right? They didn't do that in the last World Cup. They're going to need to start this tournament on a good note, and losing your manager doesn't really help. When we think about it, the main thing at the interviews is that we want to hear from you. This is organic, unfiltered soccer analysis. There's no script. We don't censor anything. We want to know what you think. If you ask me who I think will win at this moment that we're recording, I think Brazil, based on the fact that they have a balanced side, they have a good midfield, their defense is solid under Tite, and the fact that Neymar is back. This is his chance. He was robbed the opportunity to do it on home soil in 2014. Now, this is his chance to prove that perhaps he's the best player in the world. But if you don't think Brazil is going to win, let me know who you think is going to win in the comments below. Meet me there. Let me know who you're going to think. Don't forget, I upload videos every day and will be doing so for the World Cup. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.